Hello, my brothers and sisters. It's very warm today. Just climb up a mountain and just perfect time actually to be alone. Just a moment to make a video. And so this video is about a tribute to the forgotten gods, you might say, the forgotten gods that no one ever worships. No one ever, because those are the gods that doesn't demand for worship. Those are the gods actually that go for the ones that needs to know and not worship them, but to acknowledge them. One of these gods, and actually, sorry, just bitten. One of these gods is my own goddess, Tiamat, but you can say all of the dragon gods are the forgotten gods, all of them. Fafnir, who worships or even recognize Fafnir as a several. I don't think that many people would bow down for Fafnir the fire breather, or would even bow down for let's say Leviathan. In these times, Leviathan is being called a demon or a devil. No, not at all. No, unless you're a Satanist, then you might say, oh, Leviathan. But no, true worship to dragon gods, no, that is gone. People don't even know this anymore. I just know this because I felt this and I wanted to know more. So I searched down for more information. And I came to know who my dragon goddess was. And this was the dragon goddess of the earth, while I'm so connected to the earth. But also why I had this large compassion, but that also has to do with the dragon by my side. It all influences us. All of the energies of our dragon circle, it all influences us. We can even be a male and feel more female, or vice versa, because of the dragons by our side. But yeah, the forgotten gods, Tiamat. And not that forgotten god, her opponent, the one that put her on the earth. Marduk, every time. There is always has to be a dragon slayer. It can always be a god or a human being. But at the end of the story, the dragon is always slain. But this is not the case in this case, because Tiamat could not die. She had children very easy. She was a goddess of fertility. And all the children that she has were dragons and serpents. And it became also her guardians, the ones, the army of Tiamat, the ones that are the guardians of the earth, you might say. Because why did Marduk even put a war upon Tiamat? Because Marduk wanted much more energy, he wanted more power. And he didn't have the ability to create life. He could not, because he didn't have the power to do so. But Tiamat had the power to do so, but all she made was dragons and serpents, and all stood around her, so no one can even do something against her. But yeah, so Marduk wanted to have war with her, because of her life-creating abilities that he needed. Because if there is life, he could say to everyone that they need to worship him. And so yeah, it begins. But that is not something that Tiamat would do. Tiamat would not create life like this, and because she already created life through dragons and serpents. But Marduk wanted more. He wanted worship from the being. So the fight began with the son of Tiamat as well, Kingu. After Marduk killed Aspu, the husband of Tiamat. He also was not really killed, but it was also it was just wounded, and not that he couldn't do anything, of course. And so Tiamat was very angry because of this, and all of the chaos was unleashed. All the chaos that she had was unleashed inside of the rage that she had. All the chaos, and of course it was not, according to the books, not an easy fight for them to win. You might even say that this Marduk was the first dragon slayer, and he was a god, a deity, but he was not a god that could create life. And later on he did, with Tiamat's energy. Tiamat's body put upon the earth, sank down into the earth. The blood became the rivers, and her scales and hair became the trees. But Marduk, not just like Tiamat, Marduk is not a forgotten god, because later on he changed the name all the time into Abrahamic religions. So Marduk became the god that they worship now. It was just the same thing. And now they changed the stories just to say that it was actually Lucifer that was the one that fought. It was actually the rebellion that fought against the authority of God. Actually, it was the same, very much the same story that changed all the time as the battle between Tiamat and Marduk, and all of the angels, you can say, that stood behind them. Behind Tiamat was dragons and serpents, and all of the gods that just wanted to help her because she was the life in itself. Of course, there were a lot of rebellions as well, just the same story as the battle of the skies, the battle of the angels, but just the same thing here. It just continues. That is why Marduk is still not a forgotten god, but Tiamat is, and somewhere she turned into a life-creating god into the devil. Sometimes people tell me that I am a devil worshipper, I worship Satan or things like this. Well, in a way, when I read this story and I can convert this to whatever they are saying, then actually I might be what you think what you say, but in fact I'm happy to stand on this side, because Tiamat was the life creator. There was an ancient version of Christianity that said that the earth was made by the devil, but that the Christian God was the one that was protecting it. And this was in fact also something that comes from this, because the earth in itself is the life of Tiamat. Just like every single other dragon god, very much demonized and very much, that they don't have any compassion for this, any understanding for this, the understanding for the lost body of Tiamat, this understanding that it all was actually Marduk that was not the hero of this story. On the end of every story, of course, the dragon always dies, but the dragon did not die here. The dragon did not die, and all of her children did not die as well, because they were deities as well. They came from a god, and that is why I sometimes call all of the dragons gods and deities. That is no less than just a deity, because they come from a goddess, Tiamat. And so so life was created with every single elemental dragon. Tiamat is being called the dragon of the earth, and also the waters, because the waters, for example, that is also what I call the waters. The water is actually dragon's blood, and is also being used in Christianity as a baptism. As baptism, it is being said that it's going to be having the blessings of God, but in fact it was something of the old days of the forgotten gods, wherever they blessed a child with dragon's blood. A dragon's blood that blessed the child. Dragon's blood was something, and Fafnir's story said it, dragon's blood was something that you cannot penetrate, that you cannot harm whenever dragon blood is over you. So that is why baptism was created. It is a pagan ritual. It is something that comes from the dragon times, from Babylonia, from Tiamat, but also from Fafnir. In fact, in a way, the dragon gods may have been forgotten, but the ones that needs to know still know. Of course, Marduk wanted prayers. He wanted much prayers, and prayers, whenever you give prayer, whenever you do something like this, or you hold your hand in a particular kind of way, then you are just committing, you are just giving your energy to the one that you are praying for. In this case, they are praying for Marduk, the one that has put her upon the earth. They are praying for Marduk. Christians, Muslims, also the Jews, they are all praying for the same God, Marduk. It is later on changed in so many different kind of names that it had, but now it's being called like Yahweh or Jehovah. And now Tiamat also has many names. Ghana, Gaia, everything that stands for the earth has become her name. And the ones that still wants to worship her are the ones that can feel her as a mother, because the ones that has to feel her has energy from her. And that is also something that is very... A religion inside of a religion is for a being like Marduk. Marduk doesn't have any power or influence, so he needed others actually for him to do this dirty work, so that he would be recognized and known, and so that everyone will hold his hand and give energy to him. So that was according to me, that was the plan of Marduk, actually, to become this god, but not like Tiamat is. Tiamat, in my eyes, is the real God, the one that could create life, but the one that is also chaos, the one that is dark and light together, the ultimate powerful one. But yeah, like I said, she didn't die. She's still here upon this earth, and we can still feel her. If the gods, if the forgotten gods, they are forgotten because the majority of people, they don't have a connection with these gods. They only submit to something what they hear, to something what they think is right, but not because something that they feel. And that is what we need to do. We need to feel them. And that is where you need to know who your dragon god is. Your dragon god is no doubt a forgotten god. So no one will ever tell you who your God is. It is something that you need to feel for yourself deep within. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.